Hello everyone, my name is Ilya Hryshchuk and I'd like to introduce you to our work that is named Concept of Information Technology for Recording of Cardiac Pacemaker Dysfunction. And in today's world, information technologies have gained great importance in various fields, including medicine. And information technologies make modern medicine more accessible, functional, and of higher quality. It helps to optimize the work of healthcare professionals and improves the quality level of patients' lives. Cardiac diseases are the most spread reason of mortality in the world. And for example, in the Ukraine, the mortality caused by cardiac diseases is 64%. In modern clinical practice, the main method of treating patients with cardiac diseases is pacemakers. The main function of a pacemaker is to provide a stable heart rhythm and restore the correct heartbeat. And for lots of patients with heart problems, a pacemaker is a life-saving device. The correctness of its operation is extremely important. If a pacemaker that regulates the heart rhythm fails, it can lead to consequences in the patient's health, or it can lead even to death. A huge number of factors can affect the correct functioning of a pacemaker, and all of them must be properly processed to guarantee the safety of a patient. Some of reasons that can affect the correct functioning of a pacemaker are demonstrated on this slide. You can see here electromagnetic interference, problems with the pacemaker software, incorrect or poor connection, mechanical damage, low battery, some high voltage equipment can also affect on it, interference from other devices, and all these risks should be minimized. Some of the ways to recognize cardiac pacemakers dysfunctions are listed on this slide, and you can see here patient symptoms gathering. It means that if a pacemaker suddenly starts to signalize very suspicious symptoms, it can be marked as a dysfunction. Another one is monitoring of the technical parameters of this device, like, for example, the battery power, signal quality, electrodes, and so on. Another one is testing during device operation. The doctor can conduct special tests to check the correctness of the pacemaker and identify if it's possible, if it has possible dysfunctions. Another one is diagnostic data and notification analysis. It means that the device can transmit diagnostic data and notifications about any errors and abnormal situations during its sensors, and so on. We have a lot of ways to recognize it. And since pacemakers have been in use for a relatively long time, it is natural that research has been going on. Yeah, it was going all this time, and people were developing algorithms and technologies for checking the validity of pacemaker operations because it's critically important to patients' life. But all of these existing solutions has some disadvantages in some or another way. Some of them are very complicated, some are very expensive, some have lack of automation, and so on. So that's why the task was to develop an advanced technology that combines multiple detection methods and special algorithms to detect abnormal situations, and it may indicate pacemaker dysfunction, and it will prove the reliable pacemaker monitoring. And here in this slide, let's say check context diagram of the functional model of information technology. And you can see here that the developed technology is based on theories, methods, principles of information technology developments, regulatory documents, and researchers, experts, and stakeholders. And it should result in recommendations for adjusting the pacemaker and notifications for the patient, for his doctor, his family, or any other specified people. In this slide, you can see the concept of information technology for recognition of cardiac pacemaker dysfunction. And in the top, we can see a database which gets information about patient symptoms, diagnostic data, electrocardiograms, information from sensors, and then it starts to process all the data one by one, starting from patient symptoms, then processing the data messages from the system, then decoding and analyzing the electrocardiograms, then special algorithms are applied to detect abnormal situations, and then processing the information from sensors. And based on all this information, it forms the recommendation for adjusting the pacemaker if it's needed, and automatically notifies the patient and the doctor in this case. And also, it's very important to strictly follow the principles of developing such as information technology, and we should ensure its efficiency, reliability, and security. And to do it, we have to strictly follow these principles. One of them is modularity. For example, it's the division of information technology into independent components, and they should be designed, tested, and improved separately, which means it will be easier to make this technology more complex and at the same time more reliable. Another one is the principle of security, and the integration of data protection mm, must be developed very patiently. It should include such mechanisms as encryption, as authentication, and it must prevent the system from unauthorized access. One more is the principle of scalability, and it's the ability of technology to grow up and and adapt to the increase of data without losing performance, and etc. And based on the previous diagrams and slides, we can sum up the functions of developed multifunctional information technology. So it gathers the information about patient symptoms, diagnostic data and device messages, electrocardiograms, and data from sensors. And it can identify abnormal situations. Then it processes all the data, and based on it, the system can make a conclusion and propose the adjustment for a pacemaker and notify all, all needed people. In conclusion, I would like to shortly sum up that the world is evolving very rapidly now, and in current situation, information technologies play a critical role in the medicine. Cardiac diseases are the most common reason of mortality in the world, and the most common device to treat it is a pacemaker. And it's extremely important to keep this device in proper condition and be able to detect its dysfunction. And the proposed technology combines several ways to recognize the cardiac pacemaker dysfunctions, and it enhances the reliability of its monitoring. So that's all from my side. Thank you for your attention, and I think we can start questions and answer section.
Thank you, Ilya. We cannot see a slide with context diagram and the structure of information technology. Okay. Comment, please. Okay.
Okay, in this context diagram, we gathered the principles how this system should be developed, and it must be based on theories, on methods, on experts, because it should uh, it should be as much reliable as possible, and we have to rely on the experience of experts and of developed technologies. And then we have to process all the information, and based on it, we can give the recommendations that the pacemaker is working wrong or it's okay, and we can suggest some adjustments. We can notify the patient and the doctor, and yeah, something like that.
Thank you. Dear colleagues, questions, please? No questions. Thank you, Ilya.
Okay, thank you.